flight cancellation and delays have become the norm in Nigeria. Now, to the consternation of air passengers, but the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, said he's working on plans to ensure that commercial airlines operating in the country pay compensation to passengers for delay or cancelled flights from January 2024. While appearing before the Joint Committee of the National Assembly on Aviation for the 2024 budget defense, Keyamo explained that the ministry also plans to publish the lists of airlines that delay or cancel flights every week in media houses as part of its efforts to regulate the sector. Jide, for January 2024, this will be a welcome development. That I know that I have an appointment in Abuja. I can leave Lagos. If I have 8 a.m. appointment, I can leave Lagos 6 a.m. and I'm sure that I will still catch my appointments.
It's not as simple as that. If the weather gets in the way, no pilot who is not drunk will say he's going to fly. So sometimes it's not in their hands, but what I hate is the fact that they do not communicate. They will just leave you guys there. There are times when the weather is too bad to fly. At this time of the year now, in the northeast, the Sahelian haze is a big problem. Even for the Air Force, this is a terrible time for them in the war against terror, because there are times when they will receive information that terrorists are operating somewhere, but because the weather is bad, they will not be able to get in the air and go and take on those guys. So it happens. Sometimes flight can be terrible and flights will be cancelled. Even in Europe, also at this time of the year, when the weather is terrible, you cannot do anything about it. You just have to wait until you get the all clear to fly. I know that sometimes it is not the fault of the airlines, but an airline that keeps people at the airport for up to 7-8 hours and then cite operational, explain away the delay by simply telling people that due to operational reasons. That is what I oppose as a person. They said part 19 of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Regulation applies to all passengers departing from any airport located within Nigeria. And it says that in the event of a scheduled flight is cancelled, the airline is obligated to offer assistance to the passengers in these forms: mails, telephones, calls, SMS, and emails, in addition to rerouting and reimbursement. This is, however, subject to if the cancellation is communicated to the passenger 24 hours prior to the time of the scheduled flight in the case of a domestic flight, and 7 days in the case of an international flight. Also, the airline must inform the passengers of possible alternative transport. What the minister is saying is that people would be reimbursed. I think that even reimbursement is not enough. For example, where you have an interview and due to operational reasons, the flight gets cancelled at short notice, you are likely to miss your interview appointment. I've seen a man on an early flight, in fact, almost ran mad because we were leaving Abuja, coming to Lagos, where he would then pick the flight to Dubai. And then they delayed the thing. It was clear to him that he had missed the flight. So, and his children were waiting at the airport. They wouldn't leave before without their dad. So he was really mad at what is going on there. There's no respect. I think that generally there's no respect for the passenger, because the way they behave, these guys behave, especially the ones who are big, so-called market leaders. They believe that whatever it is, look, they have their market share, people can go to places. You want to, I've spoken before about expecting to leave Kano for Lagos at 6 p.m. And we left at 4 a.m.
That's regular, that's the standard.
Can you imagine? So what is the point? You know, someone was supposed to appear on our show yesterday, Politics Tonight. Our flight was 1 o'clock. As at 8 p.m., when she was supposed to come on, she was still in the airport. So how do you explain such a thing? Usually they don't even get back to the passenger so that the passenger can make alternative plans. Because if that trip is so crucial to me, and I'm aware that, okay, you will not get back to me until maybe like 5 hours after, of course I will get into another flight and leave. But no communication, you just leave. That's why people get agitated, and some of them will start taking the law into their hands at the airport. They need to communicate. And I don't think that for somebody who has a mega deal in mind, who has to travel, reimbursement is not the solution to his problem. You've damaged him in a way that you can't even quantify. You've caused so much loss to him. So simply reimbursing will not solve the problem. I've said before that because Nigerians don't sue these airlines. Our country is not like other countries of the world where the judicial system operates seamlessly and with admirable efficiency. Here, people just do what they like. They tell you to go to court. You can be in court for 4 years. I know a man who took Arik to court. They've been in court for 4 years.
Get frustrated.
So sometimes they will just advise you better just forget it. If our system could permit people to go to court and justice will be served quickly, I can tell you many people, they will sue these airlines out of existence.
Emeka, for this, if the Minister of Aviation, if they are able to keep to this promise by January next year, if they are able to even achieve some of these promises, it will bring sanity to that system.
No, I think this issue should actually be put to arbitration. It shouldn't go through this, the normal court process. So that if it's through arbitration, it will be faster. And then there will be instant sanctions. So those airlines will sit up. Then secondly, the quality of staff that a lot of these airlines have is very poor. You wonder where they pick some of these employees. They are so rude, so discourteous, and they lack respect for passengers.
Yes, no respect.
So now, the other day, I saw an ad somewhere. It's like maybe operators of private jets. And now, I think maybe they are now trying to do something like Uber, carpooling. Yeah, sort of this passenger pooling thing, whereby maybe if there are this number of seats on an airline and they can share the money, between passengers. So if they can keep getting passengers like that, you will see that the industry, those who run these scheduled flights, they will be in for a lot of problems in no distant time. So they should know that the industry, the business environment generally keeps evolving into new forms. And if they keep treating passengers this way, of course, it's going to backfire on them in the long run. I had an unpleasant experience one time from Abuja to Lagos. When they after delaying us for hours, then we got into the aircraft. They said there was this equipment, I've forgotten the name, that they usually use to start aircraft. I didn't even know that there's an equipment. It was when I went online that I saw that there's equipment, they call it one name, that they need. So they brought the first one and tried it. They said it was faulty. We waited again till they brought another one and tried and started the aircraft. Well, we just had to pray because I didn't even understand what was going on at that time. And then, and by then it was night. It was late in the night. So we just had to pray that, well, I don't know what is going on. And then eventually, well, thank God the flight got to Lagos safely. So all of these things combined, passengers don't have to be suffering all these delays because it also shows that our attitude to business is poor. Customer service is poor. And passengers are not even compensated at all. They don't even feel that passengers deserve any explanation. So I think if barring weather conditions or any other factors beyond the control of the airlines, I think the airlines should be sanctioned. It should not just be about paying compensation. In addition to paying compensation, it should be full compensation. Then they should also be sanctioned. If there are some of them that are just cutting corners and all of that, I think their licenses should be suspended. Let them go, because there have been complaints in recent times about certain things about the aviation sector. So if there are those of them whose licenses need to be suspended so that they can go and put things right, I think it should be done. They cannot be toying with
especially if an airline is notorious for flight cancellations, for delays. Something has to be done about them. That means they are not up to scratch about the line of business that they got themselves into. So I believe that the regulator can go further than simply asking them, mandating them to reimburse people. What of the business that you cause someone to lose? What is the reimbursement? You are going to pay the value of the ticket. But how about business that you have endangered, that you know?
Yes. Some airlines will even tell you after delaying you that you should come for light refreshment.
Yeah, that's the
thing. Particular this thing is going to be delayed for 3 hours.
It's part of what I read out earlier, that meals to help people to make phone calls. And usually before I even go to the airport, I first load my belly.
Because
the have an appointment.
The cost of buying food in the airport. If you don't load your belly sufficiently and you get hungry, and you step forward to say you want to buy rice or whatever, the cost of a meal at the airport is what an arm and a leg.
With the ambience, charge you.
You know? So the best thing is first load your belly. You know that you are not going to feel hungry for because you could be there 10 hours. I think it happened. Was it not the former transport minister? Yeah, along with others, they kept them there for more than 7 hours. You know, so except you are prepared to fly the charter jet. Yes, the Nigerian Airlines are generally very erratic in terms of their service delivery. Usually, when a new airline begins operation, you will see that they will be more punctual. You know, flights, punctuality and all that, they will have it. They will leave at the appropriate time. But once they start having customers and they believe that they have their fit family on the ground, you start seeing them misbehaving. You know, others, they will no longer care about punctuality, and you see their staff extremely discourteous. Don't you talk to people rudely? I mean, it is from the money they pay that they pay your salary. You have to respect people. They say the customer is king. In some cases, they will abuse you. They don't want to know whether you are a customer. You know, some women who sell food now, once they know that if you don't come, others will come. Yes, they will even insult you on top of the food that you want to buy. So in Nigeria, it's not all the time that the customer is king. I just hope that they can go really far on this matter, because it's a big problem. If we had time and we can look at the statistics showing the number of cancelled flights, you will be alarmed. You will be alarmed.
All right. All it takes